8:35 News and Views on Salam Media, and we're now going to be talking with Zilindile Masango. He is the head of Public Health and Emergency Services in the area of uMhlathuze. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We are going to be talking about the update on the woodchip mill fire in Richards Bay. A very good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, and thank you very much, and good morning to your viewers also.
Okay, so what can you tell us about this fire? Is it under control as we speak? How did it start and how severe was the damage?
Yes, thank you for that. Julie, it started on Sunday, round about 1:15. And the start of the fire is actually from a company in the area, which deals with wood and chip, and it obviously export that stuff and is keeping that pile there on site. It's actually tons and tons of piles that is kept there. So that way it started, and as part of their processes, they have conveyor belts. And considering that the temperature on the day was about 39 degrees Celsius and it was a bit hot, and we do think that that contributed, but also at the same time, we do think something happened with the conveyor belt. But we do not want to preempt that until we do further investigation, because obviously it's part of what needs to be done together with NPT.
Okay, so you obviously represent the city of uMhlathuze. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, very well. But if I may
Okay,
add, you
yes.
did ask if it's contained. Yes,
Yep.
for now, yes, it is contained within the premises. Yes, we almost had a challenge on Sunday afternoon when the wind changed, but we managed to work with different industries to control that, and the community in the area, and our firefighters, I think they did an excellent job there also, and we managed to control that. Now there's no fire on the other side. The only fire that we're dealing with now is contained within the premises. And yes, there are damages there, but likely no death and stuff.
So no fatalities, thank God, and no injuries at all regarding this fire. And you are saying, you are reassuring the public that the fire has been contained. I should imagine that it's going to be investigated to really check if there was no foul play and such other possibilities involved.
Yes, of course, it's one of the investigation. You wouldn't want to preempt what could have happened, although at this stage we do not have suspicion that there was a foul play, and we are working very well with the MD of the company, and I think we will get to the bottom of what actually happened. But yeah, we don't know. That investigation will reveal what actually transpired there.
The investigation
But
would
yes,
then
it's really affected the company.
and obviously, if the company,
Sorry?
if the investigation suggests there was negligence on the part of the company, they would be held liable for all of the losses, I should imagine.
Look, good thing is that the losses is on their side, in a sense, not on our side, and the community was not affected per se. So it's within their premises. So we presume that they will have their own systems of claiming if they have to claim from wherever. But obviously, from our side, we will look at what were the costs of trying to assist in that, and then we take it from there. But that will obviously, how we agree in terms of moving forward, will be based on what actually happened in terms of the fire. So
But
yes, where the good thing is there's no.
in a
Yes,
situation like
no, I
this,
was saying.
obviously. Sorry, go ahead, please. I know there's a delay in the communication.
Yes, no, I was saying, luckily, the only challenge we have is within their own premises, not in the public side.
Okay, I'm also wondering with a situation like this, it clearly is not safe for the labor force to go back to work. That's going to impact on them depending how long it takes for the investigation to be carried out, for cleaning up and mopping up operations, for all of those assessments to be done before the workers can go back to work. So it is going to impact on the workers, I guess, directly and indirectly. I'm kind of wondering, will they get paid in the time that they're not at work? Due to circumstances beyond their control. They were not involved, they were not directly involved. This was possibly an act of God or an accident because of poor maintenance of machinery, etc. Do we know how many workers are impacted at this point in time? And are the authorities going to ensure that they are well looked after, even though they haven't suffered injuries or anything? But it's going to probably impact on their back pockets. They may not get paid while the factory is shut down.
Yeah, no, firstly, I think as a municipality, we may not necessarily have that information at this stage in terms of the number of staff affected. Remember, that company has got branches all over. It's not only here in Richards Bay. So one will presume that there will be a system of redeploying their staff members, but I think that's something that internally they can discuss that. But like you're saying, I totally agree with you. It may have impact on them because looking at what has happened, the impact is so bad that if they go back today, there's nothing to do. So the only thing that we are doing is maintaining that and containing that fire and trying to kill the flames that are there already. So you cannot have people working there except there are firefighters also that we are working with them on site. So it's a difficult one in terms of the labor force. In fact, it's not only ends there because our economy as uMhlathuze may be affected by this, like
Absolutely.
our mayor has said. So we are much concerned about that because we do not want to lose any business. You will be aware that we just had COVID-19 and we most of the companies may not have like recovered from that. So and including those families that you're talking about. So there is a challenge that at this stage I cannot give you a clear answer. I think it's something that the company itself can respond appropriately. But for now, we do not have a system to say how are we going to assist them. All our efforts now are in terms of trying to contain that place so that it doesn't affect the neighboring industries that are in that area.
And obviously, because it is a mill, it is one of the largest woodchip businesses in KZN. I'm thinking of the
Yes.
labor force being in excess of hundreds of people that are employed there. And if this factory is going to be shut down for a period of time, we can't say at the moment for how long. It's going to have a direct impact on the workers, the labor force, and very, very, very especially on the local economy. So let's hope and pray that they can sort out the investigation sooner rather than later and get people back to work as soon as possible, so that business carries on as usual without too much disruption and too many and without too many people being impacted by the closure of the factory and the labor force work stoppage.
Yes, I did miss some of the points you made, but I really agree with you. Let's really pray that the impact is not as bad and there will be a way of recovering from there so that they can go back to work as soon as possible. And or hopefully they have their own systems internally. And I do imagine that Department of Labor may also assist in terms of advising them if should there be any in challenges in terms of the salaries, but it's something that as a local authority, we are not directly involved in. But I totally agree with you. We need to, whatever we do, we must try and move faster so that at least the site is cleared. They can work towards what they were doing previously, so that at least people don't lose their jobs in the process. not because obviously they shouldn't lose jobs because we failed to work on time in time to assist the company. So we will do everything in our power just to make sure that it doesn't affect. And I'm really comfortable with the cooperation that we have with the company already in terms of dealing with this issue. Thanks.
My final question then to you is, I understand that as the fire raged on, the city's fire department received assistance from Mondi Fire Services, Transnet Fire Services, South 32, RBM, and other private companies to battle the inferno. That must have been very, very reassuring to see so very many different people coming on board, companies coming on board to help contain the fire. Because if you didn't have this sort of support and assistance, the situation could have been really very, very dire. It could have spread far and wide, and we would have been sitting with quite a devastation on our hands.
Look, there's no institution that can have all the resources it requires. So yes, we really appreciate the support we receive from different role players. Yes, already you will understand that when you have such fires, everyone wants to contribute, because if we can't control there, it will end up affecting all the other companies that are in the vicinity. So it makes sense that we work together to try and assist each other. Obviously, under the command of the city of uMhlathuze, is as per the law. But I think it does help a lot. Yes, it would be an ideal situation if we were to have all the resources internally as a municipality. But we do not have such all the time. And at times, for instance, today, we actually working, and we have an aerial operation where we're trying to suffocate those blazes on site, so that at least we do not have to deal with the flames that are there. Because those flames are the most problematic, particularly if the weather were to change. So we won't have obviously these choppers as a municipality. So private companies assist in terms of that. So I think working together does really assist in a situation like this, and we really have to promote that. And we need to officiate such arrangement even moving forward.
Zilindile Masango, you are the head of public health and emergency at uMhlathuze, and we, of course, were talking about the update on the wood chip mill fire in Richards Bay. Thank you indeed, and we hope and pray that there is a very, very positive outcome after the investigation, and that people are able to get back to work sooner rather than later. Uh, Stay safe and God bless. It is exactly 8:48 news and views on Salam Media. In a short while, we will be talking with our news correspondent, Zai Jadwid, and still to come up in the second hour of the show, we are going to be talking about the Riverlea Red Area Emergency Response. One person was found dead as of this morning. Goodness me, what are all these bad news stories that are going around? I mean, as I was speaking with Zilindile, what came to mind was all of the disasters that is playing out here in South Africa. We had that explosion of the Bree Street road, the gas explosion which ripped up the road. Then we had the fire in Albert Street, the fire in the building where upwards of 70 people had died in the fire. And we keep hearing about all sorts of structural damages, fires, and such disasters playing out all around the country. Here now we have the woodchip mill fire in Richards Bay. Um, Goodness me, what next? We just hope and pray, inshallah, that people keep safe, people keep within emergency, advice handed out by the authorities, keep themselves, their homes, their communities as safe as they possibly can. But more about all of these stories a little later on. You are tuned into News and Views on Salam Media. And also, let me remind you that we will be welcoming the Polokwane community to the second hour of the show on One Nation FM. This is News and Views on Salam Media. That was a clip, or rather a tweet posted by Yusuf Abramji. And just to give you an idea of the fire in um, um, uMhlathuze township, which is, of course, in Richards Bay. And we were talking earlier on with the head of public health and emergency services, that was Zilindile Masango. Lots more lined up for you right here on Salam Media. Please stay with us.